Hunter,
What's up, brother, man?
yo?
Good to be back. Took a little hiatus
Man,
there, huh?
not a mucho. I know. I know. We did had to take a little hiatus. We both had some things to do, and wanted to do some revamping of the show. Try to put things together a little better and make the content better for everyone. So we inevitably took a break for you, the audience. See how much we love y'all and we
Yeah,
care
you're
about
welcome.
you. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, dude. What's been going on, man? What's been new in your world? If anything happened?
Man, nothing much. Same old. Crawling through shit for a golden nugget, but been keeping a good eye on this Israel deal, which I'll touch on in a little while. But seems like all is good in the world. Besides obviously the war and everything, but freight is going as scheduled. But yeah, man, life's been good. It's finally getting cold outside, so it's bonfire season. How you been, boss?
Bonfire, yeah, man. I've been good, dude. You know, just doing some things. Actually, us, man, look at my hat's all wonky and stuff. Us taking off last week was actually really good, man. My brother was here from Qatar. His daughter was born at the end of September, so he was here, and I got to hang out and spend some time with him, man, which was really fantastic. Who isn't going out of business? Us, Kyle. We're not going out of business. What do you mean, dude? Synergy's killing it. Um, anyway, it was good, man. Got to hang out with my brother, which was great, and he bought a new Airbnb, so him and I spent some time together doing some work on that, and my son was over there helping him out. Picked up two new customers, so that's good, man. Picking up first load for one tomorrow, and the other one should be picking that load up next week. And I got a call from a guy today, man, that builds custom trailers, dude. And we've been talking for a while, and he's got a project going on that he wants me to help do a round trip on some stuff. So things are going good, man. Business is ticking up, you know, little by little, which I take as a win in this economy, especially after what we're about to talk about tonight, man. So, you know,
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Was about to be a millionaire once this market picks back up.
dude, I'm telling you, man. With this company, you know, going out of business, man, I really think that it's going to open up opportunities for a lot of people. Obviously, I mean, if you don't see that, then you're really missing the whole fucking big picture there. But before we get into all of that, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, and then we're going to move into our news, and we will move into the two topics that we have tonight, which is, as everybody knows, Convoy is, you know, going out of business. And then Hunter, you have what to talk about?
Yeah, we're gonna go over Israel, kind of what's happening there. Obviously, in that Mediterranean area, it definitely affects everybody. A lot of imports coming from that part of the world right there. So, yeah, touching on Israel and what we're seeing and how the steamship lines and ports are adjusting. Obviously, a little bit of risk mitigation here. So it'll be nice and boring.
Cool, man. Well, I don't think it's gonna be boring. I think that's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't think people realize
Obviously.
that the Mediterranean, man. You know, they do have some pretty big shipping lanes and stuff that come out of there. And although it isn't you know, any China or India or anything, you know, it still has ramifications on the people that, you know, do business out of there. Which you being one of them, I know you have a customer that ships stuff out of that area. So yeah, that I think that'll be pretty interesting. Give people a perspective on the whole Israel thing, you know, and it's not just talking about the blood, the carnage, and the murder and all that stuff. So that said, we'll get right into things. AccuBid Pro, they are our sponsor for the show for the month. They have an amazing app out there for all of you owner operators. Helps you keep track of your expenses and calculates everything, and helps you figure out the number to show you where you're profitable at, or it is better called what your cost per mile is. So if you want to, go ahead, download their app. It is in the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store, or Apple Store, sorry. It has a free month trial on it right now. If you called, or if you put in the comments that you heard about it from the Logistics Lounge.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Boom, bada boom, bada boom, boom. Bid better with AccuBid Pro. I still wonder if that's Crystal's voice, the lady that works with Jimmy. I'm gonna have to ask him that. Anyway, moving right along into our new segment. Got a little lighthearted thing we're going to talk about. Something that no one ever speaks about in this industry, and it also ties into us talking about a few weeks ago about the transportation bill that they just passed. And this gives some insight to where a little bit of that money is going, and really, really cool thing. Bada bing, bada boom. Man, see, look at that, dude. I had my stuff prepared, and freaking you and I were talking, and I exited right out of that shit. Golly, I'll tell you what. There we go, right there. How we doing? There. All right. So 2 Maryland driving schools were given some federal grant money this month by Pete, I don't deserve my job, transportation secretary, or transportation secretary, I don't deserve my job, Pete, and the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. They gave 2 grants to 2 different schools, totaling with a total of $371,050. The schools that received those checks were Prince George Community College and Community College of Baltimore. The money will go towards their driver training program, which a lot of the smaller community colleges and state colleges have actually been getting involved with a lot more over, I don't know, probably the past decade or so. The college we have here in town, they actually have one. And then we have another community college that they have a satellite office here that they specifically use just to do driver training. So if y'all don't know, anyone looking to get into driver training, go check out your local community colleges first versus those driving schools, because, especially if you're a veteran, which is something that is covered in this article, your schooling will be able to be paid for your GI Bill, and you will get paid by the GI Bill when you go to school. Or
hey, Rob, you're just showing our stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, what the heck, bro? That is so crazy. Wow. Okay. I didn't even notice it, man. Like, I mean, I had the window right here in front of the screen because I was trying to read it. You know what I'm saying? Boom, there it is. All right. Thank you for saying that again. Let me scroll back up so everybody can see that, what we're talking about here. So anyway, as I was saying, these 2 schools received this money, a little over $370,000. This money actually comes from the transportation spending bill that we talked about that got passed earlier this year. And part of that spending bill is a program that is ran by the DOT that you can see right here. It is the Commercial Motor Vehicle Operator Safety Training Program, which this is a fund that they put money into, and then they disperse those funds out to community colleges and other organizations to help with driver training, to help bring new talent into the industry as the old talent leaves. As they've been saying for past 10 years, we have a driver shortage, which we all know is not true. So this money specifically is going to be used to help veterans that do not have money, I guess, from their GI Bill. They didn't specifically state that, but That's my only assumption, because if you're a veteran and haven't used your GI Bill, then it would surely pay for this, and it will also pay for other people, civilians that want to get trained and get their CDL-A that don't have the funds, that maybe they would normally qualify for a Pell Grant, but obviously don't have the money to come out of pocket for it. So out of the money, I did the math, and 371,000. It sounds like a lot of money. I guess it is, but per my math, if they actually take all $371,000 of this money that they were given, it will train 53 men and women to get their Class A driver's license and put them into the job market as drivers. So although that is a small drop in the bucket, compared to the thousands and thousands of drivers that leave the industry every year, every little bit helps. Being a truck driver, I don't care what any carrier out there says or what anyone says. I think that it is one of the most honorable careers that you can have. It is still a very, very good blue collar career. They say right now drivers make $49,000 a year. You must be working for a really, really shitty outfit, because I was making $50,000 a year when I got in the industry in 2008. So when I exited it, I was making, high 70, low 80s as a company driver. So point is, it's a very good career. A lot of people just don't have access to the funds to pay for these truck driving schools. And, usually if they don't, they get suckered in by these larger truck companies that are predatory. You all know the ones out there. I'm not going to name them, but they put you through school and then they make you sign a contract where you basically are freaking slave labor for them for a damn year. They pay you next to nothing, and you got to hope that you survive so you can get out on your own and be out from under that obligation you had to that carrier to train you. So yeah, really good things. I actually am going to keep track of this and see if I can find stories of some more of this money from this transportation bill going to schools and other programs, and maybe try to keep track of the dollar amounts and see how many people they're going to be able to train and get into the industry. So there you go. There's my quick little news segment right there. You have it showing. Yes, I know I had it showing. Thank you. See, I'm even behind on reading the damn chats, bro. Even behind on reading the damn chats. So,
bro,
what's that? Oh,
get with the times.
Yeah, isn't that fucking true? Isn't that true? All right, so with that, we are going to go ahead and move into the first topic of the night. Everybody has seen it by now, about Convoy sending out emails that they are, canceling all shipments. And, really, they didn't say they're shutting the doors, but come on, read between the lines. So that's what we're going to talk about right now while the iron is hot. I'm sure come tomorrow, all the other shows that are bigger than ours are going to touch on all of this, and you're going to hear it all again. But you're going to hear it here first. Just like the space freight.
Getting the hot topics, man. Getting the hot topics here.
I want to point that out. Just like the space freight that we talked about, like show fucking 3. And now every logistics show and their mother is out there talking about space freight. I'll tell you what, man. So I wish you could like trademark or patent topics. You know what I mean? Like, talk about this shit first. Now you owe me residuals. Where are we going?
We're talking space freight, bro. I'm ready. Put me on the ship. First driver right here. I'm good to go.
just launch you out, right? All right. So to get into our topic, I'm just going to pull up the screen real quick just so we have a pretty little picture to look at while we talk about this, or I should say get into this. So bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Convoy. Man, I'll tell you, dude, I actually learned some stuff when I
Does that say Bezos back? Like,
yes, dude, hold on, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, is this some deep shit?
Yeah, I learned some stuff today, man, doing research for this article here, man. I knew what Convoy was. Obviously, I know what they are because I'm a broker, but also as a carrier and someone who used to do dispatching on the side too. We used to do some business with Convoy, so I've dealt with them on both ends. But I was not aware of a lot of this information that I am about to drop to you guys right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off there. Y'all can see Bezos backed Convoy cancels all shipments. And boom, let me get to that. All right. So today, the Seattle-based and private equity-backed company Convoy sent emails out to all their customers saying that they are canceling all shipments as of tomorrow. Now, on to the stuff that even I didn't know about, man. Here's some really cool shit. So, they were founded in 2015 by former Amazon employees. Some of their backers include people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and a couple of huge capital funding ventures. They came into the scene after raising an initial $260 million. And like I said, that was in 2015. And over the course of the next 7 years, they grew exponentially and were valued at close to $4 billion as of April of last year. I read a few other articles that have given some numbers of like 3.7, 3.8 billion, but we'll just round up and say 4 billion. So that's quite a rise, if you will. I don't really care what kind of industry you're in or what company you are or what you do in the world, to be able to go from a 260 million opening valuation to 4 billion in little less than, well, pretty much 7 years. That's quite a feat. Now, I will say, and I'm sure a lot of you know, that a good chunk of that was due to COVID. I mean, pretty much all of these big brokerages and carriers that are going out of business right now is from the result of them pushing too much and doing too much because of COVID. They made a lot of money and then they spent a lot of money, and now they're not able to sustain their operations. So continuing on, they advised the shippers in these emails, by the way, that they could, if they choose, to work with the carriers directly that either already have or already are on or that have booked shipments in the near future. And they were even nice enough in their email, from what I read, to include a support email for you, their customer, to email. Which I'm like, yeah, because I bet I'm going to get a fucking answer from there. Really, really fast. I mean, like, dude, right there is that's another thing that I hate about companies when they do this shit. Just like Yellow did it and Meadowlark did it. All of these things, they go out of business, and instead of giving you direct, good access to talk to someone to help you figure out what you as a customer are going to do, they're like, oh, here, send a fucking email to an email box where 300 other thousand people are going to send an email to. And, maybe we can answer your question that you need answered today within the next 3 weeks, if we don't fire everybody before that. So, but if y'all remember, in June, Convoy announced some massive layoffs. Some numbers that I had found is that they were around 1,500 staff members at that time, and with those layoffs, it pushed them back down to around 500, which is the estimate of where they currently stand. At that same time, the co-founder of the company decided that he was going to leave as well. So, it was only a few months ago that these people, that they laid people off thinking that it was going to help them save themselves and keep their head above water. And, it obviously they swam too much into the deep end, and that is not as what's going to happen. Along with this, there are also rumors that Convoy, because they are technology-based brokerage. So they're one of these brokerages, kind of like Uber Freight and Transfix and Emerge, that their whole platform is really based off technology, and the use of technology, streamlining things, helping to automate things. So, basically you as the shipper, you say, hey, I've got a shipment. You go on to Convoy's platform, you enter in the details, put in the rate that you're willing to pay for it, and hit send. And, Convoy disperses that out on their platform to their carriers, and, allows them to bid on it and book the freight. So they're not just a traditional brokerage. I will say I actually do see some value in what they offer and what they do. And I think someone else is they're going to jump on it super quick, man. They really are. Convoy has a really great platform. I will say I've been on it. So it's really, God, I can't think of the word, but very, very user friendly, I will say. But it's just got a lot to it. You know what I mean? So continuing anyway, the rumors are that they're going to probably sell off their technology at the very least. Obviously along with other parts of their company, they really can't sell off their customers because anybody can go to get that. But, they may have other assets that people will be interested in. But probable buyers for their technology, possibly the company as a whole, they're saying are C.H. Robinson, Amazon of all places, which makes sense since Amazon was a huge back, or Jeff Bezos was a huge backer to them when they first opened. Walmart and Maersk as well. Hunter, that one really surprised me. I don't know if Convoy does anything in the Dreher International area, but yeah, dude, that the Maersk thing really, I was like, man, really, they're gonna buy that. But again, like I know what you do, and I understand like your industry right now is real big on technology too, man. Just being able to, just like y'all's portal, get on there, put in the information, and book the fucking load with you, the broker. So I could see how Maersk would want the technology, man, to better their own software platforms and the things that they're being able to offer to their customers. So that's pretty much the whole snippet of it. I will say that this isn't the quickest turnaround for a brokerage to shut down, but I will say I think this is one of the one of the ones that's going to get more attention, specifically because of their meteoric rise. Like I said, in the course of 7 years, they went from $260 million to $4 billion, and then in the matter of less than a year, since COVID has ended, that's all come crashing down. So, as Newton Law states, you know what I mean? What goes up must comes down. And I'll tell you, that is not been more true in this industry than it has been in the past year. And before I move on to getting into this a little further, I actually went, brother, and I made a little short list of all of the brokerages, the big name brokerages that have went out of business in this year and that have done layoffs. So you have TransPlus out of Mississippi, Surge out of Florida, Meadowlark, who they announced stuff last week, out of Montana, Yellow, as we all know, out of Tennessee, CMA Freight Services, they're out of Indiana, now Convoy, who they're based out of Seattle. Layoffs, major brokerages that have done layoffs this year, Landstar, C.H. Robinson, Uber Freight, BNSF, Coyote, and again, Convoy. So, I point that out because, people are talking about, you see a lot of chatter, on the smaller side, like on LinkedIn and stuff about, oh, my buddy's broker just going out of business, kind of like Chad's deal, you know what I mean? The smaller people going out, and you kind of,
that's a point I was about to bring up, man. Like, especially in regards to like Uber Freight. Uber Freight's offering agency jobs now, which
really?
which is crazy, but it makes sense. I mean, there's no overhead in that. Like, most of the times you have to have your own 1099. You're getting paid straight salary. They don't offer you anything except for their resources, and they get a cut of whatever you bring on. So it's no cost to them.
Okay.
They're just giving you your resources. I mean, it seems to be the going trend, man. And I mean, I'm surprised you didn't put Flexport on that list, but it looks like, I mean, earlier this year they cut out 20% of their staff. Now they're looking to cut out another 20-30% within the next week.
I forgot about him, and you even sent me that article about him too today, man.
Oh, it's all good, man. I mean, but it is. No, it's cool, man. I mean, it is a going trend though, dude. Like, you're seeing, I mean, even companies like C.H. Robinson, everybody's doing layoffs, man. Like, just in this kind of market, there's not enough room for margin of error, and much less, a lot of freight is really tied up right now. In this kind of economy, it's tough. Like, a lot of people are just going in over their heads, like you said, coming out of COVID. Life's good if you got that freight there, and but yeah, in this shipper market, man, it's gonna change up big time. But yeah, the agency thing, I think you're gonna see a lot more of.
I agree with that, man. The agency thing, it's pretty much like, dude, they're franchises. That's what it is. It's same thing when a carrier says, oh, I want to bring on owner operators or lease operators. And I mean, I'm telling you, dude,
make your own little name.
For a lack of better words, it is. It's a franchise, because you're utilizing that company's name, their resources, so forth and so on. But you're doing all the work, and then they just get a piece of the cut, dude. That's a franchise. In layman's terms, that's a fucking franchise. So
Yep.
but I agree with you, man. I think we will be seeing a lot more of that. And I also think we'll be seeing some more of the larger carriers getting heavier into the broker agency side, like Knight, Swift, CR England, CRST, all of those places, they all have their own brokerages, brokerage sides. CRST, I think, is the only one that does have agencies, but still, I think with Knight, if you remember, we talked about something a few weeks ago that they're talking about doing layoffs. You know what I mean? And how the economy right now has hurt their business and stuff, and that they're having a little bit of trouble. It's not financial stuff, but things just aren't going as good. So I agree with you. I think the agency thing is going to start becoming more out there and stuff on this broker stuff.
Yeah. But also with that, I mean, it's either going to work really well for them, or they're just going to get a bunch of sandbaggers and they're not going to produce any freight,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, man.
Not having a paycheck, unless you're coming in with like a hot book of business customers, like, yeah, like let's get set up. We can start running next week. There's going to be that delay, man. And even then, like we all know how it goes with transferring over customers from older companies.
God, yeah, dude. I think
that can happen in 3 weeks,
You're right, man. I want to say my boss Kyle is the one who gave me this stat, but I want to say like when you move over your book of business, like you lose something like a third of your customers. You know what I mean? Like off the top, dude. You know what I mean? They most of them they just or some of them, they just don't want to go through the bullshit again of doing a setup and the integrations and stuff like that. So you're right.
Get those companies where it's like, oh yeah, you got to fill out all this paperwork, a bunch of red line. Oh yeah, you got to send it to headquarters. Like,
yeah,
come on. Or I mean, you find out who your friends are. They're like, I really just like the company that you're working for.
Yeah, right. True. 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 I will say, our company is we're an agency of a carrier, actually, of a large carrier. I'm not going to say their name or anything, but so a big part of the way that we're able to accumulate the business that we do is because of who we're partnered with. They've got a great name, they've got a very large fleet, they've got a large warehouse or a decent warehouse system. So it has its benefits. I mean, but fortunately for them, last I knew, we're the number one agency with them, so they were actually lucky enough to have us come on and do business with them. But I want to move on to something else that I want to say is a positive side to all of this. And although there are going to be people that are going to lose their jobs, as I said earlier, as of right now, Convoy, they say they still have around 500 employees. So, very sad that, again, here we are, a company going out of business with a humongous workforce that is now going to be, have to be put on the in the employment market, trying to find a job with the other people that are out there struggling to find them now. But the positive side is I'll tell you, this Convoy, they do business with some major fucking players in the economy, man. Right now, I'm looking at their website, man. Some of their customers, Home Depot, Niagara, Procter & Gamble, Land O'Lakes, Dollar General, Shep Pallets, Ardagh Group, Owens Corning, LG Electronics, Anheuser-Busch, Dollar Shave Club. So all of these people are going to have to go find someone else to fill the void that Convoy is leaving behind. And honestly, that's going to be very easy for them. I mean, they obviously are going to have their pick from people they want to do business with. And I'm not saying that the small mom and pops are going to pick that up, but these other brokerages that are doing the right things and are being fiscally responsible, watching every penny that they spend, making sure that the people that they keep employed are doing their job and making the company money, they're the ones that are going to be able to absorb these customers, and they're going to be able to put that into their company, and they're going to be able to grow and give people within their company opportunity. And
I was about to say, yeah, those companies are probably just going to get like Home Depots and the, Dollar Shave Club. They're probably just going to go internal with their current carriers. And those people are just going to get more freight to cover. But also, I mean, like, what does that tell you though, man? If you're working with big hitters like that, like, inflation's definitely making a play on that, because like there's no room for margin anywhere. Like, you got to think about the volume that's those customers are bringing, and you're still like having to make massive cuts like this. That's kind of wild.
I agree. I agree, man. And I will say, people have a misconception when it comes to these large customers. Places like Walmart, Home Depot, fucking Sony, that stuff. They're like, oh, they're these billion-dollar corporations. They pay a lot of money. Let me tell you something. People don't get rich by wasting money and throwing it away. The cheapest freight that I have ever seen is from Fortune 100, 500 companies. Personally,
Little tiny, teeny tiny margins.
little bitty tiny ones, man. I've got two of them right now on in my customer list. I don't do any business with them because it's not enough volume with me for me to make something off of it after $25
Yeah,
rents.
that is the thing, dude.
But the point
the
is
KPIs, dude. The KPIs are
Yeah.
killers right there.
but
dude.
I will say I agree with you on this one because when it comes to Convoy, a lot of these larger customers that we had just named with them, they're almost exclusive with them. And if not almost exclusive, then Convoy has a very, very large portion of their freight that they take care of. So it is a mass volume thing, man. I'll point out one too, the RDAW group. They are a glass and container manufacturer. I used to have a buddy who used to pick up loads out of Louisiana of bottles and take them down to Austin for Tito's vodka. Back then, those loads I think were paying $1,000 or whatever. But dude, they had like 5 of them a fucking day. You know what I mean? And that's just one location for Ardagh. They're a global company. You know what I mean? So they definitely have the volume to be able to sustain and make enough money off of it. I think, Hunter, it's just like the rest of these brokerages, man, that I named a minute ago. They grew too fast, man. They rode the COVID Crusaders, bro. They rode the high during COVID. Oh, this is the new norm. It's going to fucking last forever. We're just going to spend money, and this is going to keep coming in. We're going to buy more technology and buildings and hire people and do all this stuff and whatever else they did. I don't know. Maybe they bought a damn server farm. I don't know, but they did. They spent dumb money, and I don't know, no way to come back from it. But again, it's going to have some things for other people out there, man. With all that business going away from Convoy, somebody's going to have to pick it up, and there's going to be other folks out there that are going to be able to make money. And as they say, what goes around comes around. So that money's maybe going to leave from Convoy and from that brokerage, but it's going to circumvent. It's going to go around to other brokerages and help the ones that, like I said, are being responsible with their money. It's going to help them to continue to grow and do good things, and hopefully. Help the industry to continue to keep going. And I will also say this, and then this kind of sounds shitty because although people are losing their jobs, but I'll tell you, like I in a way like things like this in a sense. For one, free market, unfortunately they're not getting a bailout like Yellow did, but if you can't operate your business in a way to stay in business, then you don't need to be in business. You know what I mean? And, so it helps other people out. It gets rid of the players in the industry that I think obviously don't need to be in it. You know what I mean? Because if you're making bad enough decisions to shut down your company, what other decisions could you have been making that actually affect the industry? And especially, I want to say that because of someone like them who has such a large part of the marketplace. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like California, bro. All the vehicle standards and emission stuff, all is comes out of California. They make all the rules for it, you know what I mean? Because they have a large part of the market share. And it's same thing in our industry, these brokerages, man, the Convoys and the TQLs and the CH, man, like they set a lot of the standards and a lot of the rate data and a lot of these other things because they have such a large market share that they put a lot of data and information and protocols and procedures and operation stuff into the industry that a lot of other people follow. And so, get rid of people like that out of the mix, and in my opinion, just benefits others. So that's all I got for the Convoy thing. I'm sure you guys will hear plenty enough about this shit for the next probably 3 weeks, because that's all anybody's going to ever care about, because it's going to be the headline, and, people can only talk about headlines. But I just wanted to talk about it tonight while the iron was still hot, because nobody else has yet. They're going to talk about it tomorrow, so we're first on it. And I hope you learn. I hope you learned some things about Convoy when I started talking about them. I really did. I did not know that Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates were involved with them, dude. I didn't know they were a private equity backed company. Honestly, I didn't know they were even from Seattle. Like, like all this stuff, man, what the valuation was. So learn some really cool things, man. And with all that stuff I learned, it goes to show that no matter how much money you have, no matter how much money you're worth, man, things can change overnight, next month, next quarter. You're riding the high now, but you could be digging your own grave as of next week. So that's all I got on that. Hunter, I know you have a amazing thing you want to talk about regarding this stuff with Israel and how it's going to impact the logistics industry. Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much. I mean, obviously it's going to have some impact, but unless you've been living under a rock, dude, that comment's funny. I know exactly who he's talking about. The old Niagara Falls. But yeah, unless you've been living under a rock, obviously you see what's happening in Israel right now on the Gaza Strip. It's very terrible things, but it's something that's been going on for as long as we've been alive, and it's at least keeping in the same ranks here. So I think you're on mute, Rob. I don't know if you were saying something.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was trying to find out who the hell wrote that. I don't know what page they typed it on.
I have no idea. But yeah, so for Israel, I've got some freight coming out of there, and waking up to that news was not what I wanted to see. Obviously when Russia, invaded Ukraine, that was a huge blast on a lot of people, and that was a little bit more severe than this, I would say, because that put a big damper on a huge piece of the supply chain. But here, being that it's in such a small portion of the country, right there in Gaza, things are really going scheduled to plan, or planned as scheduled. And so last week, all of the regulations, everything was the same. The only difference is they, it can only be container ships, vessels that are approved. Any yachts or, personal ships cannot be within 12 nautical miles of the ports of Israel. But as of right now, everything's going to plan. The only thing we are seeing is a restriction on dangerous goods. So, like, obviously, any kind of explosives, gas, things of that nature, that if Hamas or whoever comes into those waters, they're not going to steal, they're not going to explode it, they're not going to blow it up, whatever. But the
what's their name? Hamas.
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 I'm just messing with you, bro.
Shut up, man. But yeah, so the only real risk right now is obviously the inland trucking portion. So the customer that I have, the warehouse is actually pretty close to Gaza. So having to get additional insurance, which has gone up by about 50% just for war-related issues. I mean, Israel's in a state of war right now. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not that bad, though. It's really not as bad, but obviously, if dude's going down the road and he gets stopped by, a bunch of dudes and they're like, "We're stealing your shit," it's literally in baby wipes. But got to keep your ass covered there. Got to keep your ass covered. But
hey, dude, we used to call those field showers when we were in the military. Baby wipes. Those are field showers, bro. You go out to the field. You take. Hey, let me tell you, if I was a soldier and I found out you had a container full of baby wipes, I'd rob your ass.
I mean, shit. Never know. You never know. That's why insurance is good. Pay a little bit just in case you get a big loss. But we're seeing, I mean, if we're looking at the stats here, Israel annually has been growing in their port operations. I mean, in 2022, they handled just a little under 3.2 million TEUs, which a TEU is a 20 equivalent unit. So, I mean, probably around like 2 million containers at any given point. So there's a lot of stuff that comes out there. Ocean ports are the last to close. I did see that the military is utilizing some steamship vessels for support, obviously, with the casualties and the devastation that's been done. There's going to definitely need to be some room there for countries like the USA or whoever to be sending some rations and Obviously they're gonna have to do some rebuilding here, but keeping an eye on it for sure. You never know what tomorrow's gonna bring, but as of right now, it's coast is clear. So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man, about them contracting out some of the steamship lines to help with relief efforts or humanitarian efforts. That is something that I don't think a lot of people know still happen. Obviously, it was, people know that it was a big thing during World War I and World War II. There's plenty of documentation out there of them doing that, but it still goes on today. In situations like this, companies that do have access to seaports, they'll get with some of these steamship lines that like Hunter deals with, and they'll say, hey, instead of hauling cargo or freight in and out of our country, can you bring in some supplies for us? Can you bring in troops? Can you bring in medical supplies? Can you take wounded out? There's also instances where they will retrofit ships to deal with casualties and medical stuff in the ports. They get them on smaller boats, take them out to the ships that are anchored offshore, and they're kind of like little floating hospitals and stuff. So I'm glad you brought that up. And if you see anything about that, Hunter, let's touch on this again. You know what I mean, and talk about that specifically. And I'm reading over this article that you sent me, and I do see where it says that they say that the container traffic out of the two major ports is operating normally so far, and that they're continuing to take bookings. So, as of now, as you said, it's not really affecting you as of now, but we've only been at this for what, a week and 4 days, basically 10 days. So time will tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild though. I'm reading right here. So they're continuing business as normal in Ashdod. I'm sure I'm butchering how you say that, but that's the closest port to Gaza. And they say they're, in there unloading goods and loading goods. And the only thing they have there is just a siren for incoming missiles. So if that goes off, they run and hide, and then they go back to their day, which is so insane to me. But apparently, so the Ashdod port employees continue to load and unload goods that are vital to keep Israel economy going, subject to the guidelines of the Home Front Command. So they don't have a choice. They're like, yeah, war's going on. We're going to do your job. But you got this nice little siren over here. So, like I said before, I mean, airports are the first to close, but ocean ports, man, it really takes a lot. I think, I don't know the intentions, or if that would even be something that either party is going after, but I don't see it affecting too much unless Hamas gets into the more mainland of Israel. Then that'll be a different story. But
the airports, man, that's a pretty standard thing, man.
I saw today, dude. They're still regulating commercial flights to and from like Lebanon and Israel.
Yeah. So, but I mean, obviously, the seaports are the most important thing, man. I mean, I think seaports are probably the most important thing when it comes to the supply chain across the globe. I mean, pretty much everything, unless it's obviously made in the country, it is made one place and it comes to America, or it's made in one place and goes to Israel, or whatever the case may be. And with them, even though they're still doing flights, I'm sure that they're limiting them and putting ceilings and stuff on how many can come and how many can go, where they're allowing flights to come in from and where they're allowing flights to go through. So, even though air freight accounts for very little, I mean, that stuff still
that's
has
different though. You could be flying over some suspect people, but
And even off that, like I said earlier, it is about getting people in and out. If those airlines are limiting what how many flights they have, where they're coming and going to, then obviously they need a place to be able to get people out of there. I talk about that my wife works for a cruise line, and although it wasn't her cruise line, is what I'm about to name, but I think it was Royal Caribbean. They sent in a cruise ship to pick up some of their passengers, I guess, that were there at the port or they're in Israel when all this went down and the ship that they were on had to leave or they got stranded, whatever the case was. But, you know, if it wasn't for that seaport, you know, those people wouldn't have been able to get out of there. You know what I mean? So they would have had to have paid to get these international flights to go to wherever and then still try to find their way back home and so forth. So, yeah, there's the seaports, man. They're obviously extremely important, not just for the economy or for the war effort, but for the economy, you know, to keep things coming in, as you were saying, and the goods that they manufacture there, like your customer, you know, they need to be able to still be able to keep making money to try to survive and do what they need to do during the time that that Hamas is over there, you know, playing their games and Israel's over there playing games back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing though is like there is a presence of like maritime police out there. Like the military's out there making sure that people aren't messing with this. So, I mean, the only way it really would affect is, you know, this one guy from Dryad Global. They're pretty much like a global risk assessment company. He's saying for some reason, I mean, if Israel makes a ground attack, you know, and kind of escalates this, which obviously they are, he's saying that there's going to be a higher risk for the need of like military escorts for these vessels.
I can see it. I can see it, brother.
Yeah, but there is also a substantial amount of foreign maritime military presence, like in the port. So everybody stay in their lane. I mean, I did see where Hamas did have some vessels, or I don't even know what you call it. I don't even know if they have warships or not, but yeah, Israel was on them like that. So hopefully everybody can get along and this will be passed and the world can keep on ticking, but only time will tell.
That is right. Only time will tell. And as soon as this one's over, there will be a new war somewhere else the next week, because that's just how the fucking planet operates, man. So either way. But you got anything else, Hunter? You want to touch on it or expand on the topic anymore?
No, I mean that's pretty much it, man. Just definitely keeping an eye on it. It's still so fresh. There's not a whole lot to really know, and definitely don't want to spread any false information. So
yeah, of course. And I mean, especially with this stuff, the information is changing, you know, literally minute by minute. So, you know.
Yep. I just hope these old human beings that we are can get it together.
Oh yeah, that the only time that's going to happen is when the human beings cease to exist on this planet. Sorry to say, bro, but there is no hope for mankind left, man. I'm the most pessimistic person when it comes to that. Like, I've lost all fucking hope for humanity. But anyway, well, dude, great stuff, man. I don't know about you, but I kind of like this new little format we did, man. You know, for our solo show, you know, me do a topic, you do a topic.
For sure.
I think it flowed pretty well. And you know, we do have some more guests coming up for y'all here in the coming weeks. We have Rob Carpenter rescheduled. He is a safety expert. We will have a new sponsor starting up next week as well, called Trucking Service Solution. They have a really freaking cool app for all you carriers out there that helps you guys find services and other things that you need out there on the road. We'll also have a VP of Business Development with a trailer lease and rental and sell company that they are technology based. They're also one of my customers, so we're going to have them come on and talk about how things are going in their side of the industry and how they do business, and here's some more about all of that. And then we have Friday, dude. We got this guy with the National Owner Operators Association coming on this Friday. I want to see if we can get Jason Raybine, dude. Reach out to Jason, because this guy, he specifically targets fraud and double brokering. So be really fucking awesome to have Jason Raybine on with this guy, man. He's in my Facebook group. Really, really, really knowledgeable guy. And
I'm here for it.
Yeah, dude. So, and we got someone else coming on. I'm gonna say that right before we go. Who is that? Oh, Jared. Jared is also a VP of Business Development with eCarrier Check. So we are going to have him on the second week of November to come on and tell us a little bit about what they do and provide some information out there to you drivers as well as you brokers about how their platform works and the best ways to use it to, help your business make sure that they're doing business with people who are on the up and up. So, yeah, got some good things coming up. Hunter and I are actually going to continue to do a lot more solo shows, as we call them. We always have guests on and everything, and that's great. But, there's things that Hunter and I are passionate about as well, besides the people that we have on. So we're going to continue to reformat, redesign, and try to improve our content in the way that we deliver our content to you guys. Hunter and I were actually talking earlier about developing a YouTube channel to give us another avenue to stream to and for you guys to watch and share from. And so with all of that said, we will go ahead and close out with a word from our sponsor again, and then we'll do our little closing or finish up our little bit of our closing chit chat. So AccuBid Pro app out there for all you lease and owner operators. It is available in the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. It helps you keep track of your expenses to calculate your cost per mile, and which allows you to be able to bid better, which allows you to be able to make more money and put more money in the bank and grow your business. You see their information scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you don't want to just go and download the app, you can reach out to them down there. The guy's name is Jimmy Durden. Tell him that you heard about it from the Logistics Lounge.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Well. Hunter, do you have any closing statements before we sign off for the evening?
Everybody have a great night. We will see you tomorrow.
Already, I agree with that. Everybody have a great night. And with that said, chunk the deuces.